In 1998, three really cool things happened to me. I got married to my beautiful wife, Martine, and I achieved my career dream of working in sports marketing. You see, I had two brothers that were professional athletes, two older brothers that were professional athletes. That's a lot of pressure for a high school kid. But I realized sometime during my senior year in high school that God hadn't blessed me quite in the same manner. I realized I wasn't going to be a professional athlete, so I set my sights on working in healthcare and on working in sports marketing. And by 1998, at age 26, my firm was hired to represent Mark McGwire the year he broke the home run record. And just a couple weeks after the baseball season, I found myself on a private jet with my wife and with Mark flying to New York. Took him on the David Letterman show, took him on the Today Show, took him to the Rosie O'Donnell show, if you remember that, and we took him to Time Magazine to position him as Man of the Year. It was a chance of a lifetime. An opportunity of a lifetime. We took a private jet from Los Angeles to New York. It was actually on that private jet, on the way back to California the next day, with my bride of all of 4 days, and just wrapping up a wedding week, a once-in-a-lifetime business trip on a private jet to New York, to some of the largest media outlets in the world, that I looked across at my wife of 3 or 4 days now and shared with her, "Isn't this amazing? I'm 26 years old, just got married to the woman of my dreams. I'm on the trip of a lifetime, but all that has been on my mind in the last 2 weeks, the week I got married, is the fact that my grandmother came into town and couldn't get basic access to the care she needed as she aged and as she became ill. I was very close to my grandmother my whole life, and I just couldn't get past the fact that she didn't have the ability to buy a wheelchair, to get a walker. Why is it that someone that worked this hard their entire life didn't have the insurance benefits? Her and my grandfather did everything you're supposed to do to live the American dream. And they still didn't have access to basic health care services. And this was a concern to me. So I shared with my wife on that airplane, what a dream come true, but guess what? I'm feeling unfulfilled in my career, and I think I want to do something different. My wife looked over at me, and after an uncomfortable silence, she said, "Did you quit your job?" And I said, "No, I just think I want to take a different path for my career from here. This is what I've always wanted to do, my career dream to work in sports marketing, but I've just found that after a few years doing it, I'm not fulfilled." So after another uncomfortable silence, she said, "Hey, are you having a midlife crisis 4 days into our marriage? Because you're only 26, that's a little bit too young." And I just said, "No, but I'd like your support in figuring out what that next step is." And it was just a few months later, I was teaching a university class, and one of my students came to me and said, "Hey, I've heard you speak about your grandmother. I've heard you speak about wanting a career change, and we have an opportunity, an opening with our healthcare company." And so I went and applied for that job, and within a few weeks, I had made that switch from sports marketing to healthcare.